Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. But because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches. And the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. If you're new to the show, kindly subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. Also, the contacts of our guest will be on my Facebook page at Jenga Njeru. Now, on today's show, we have one of the most interesting episodes because this is a mother begging for love on behalf of the son. I have told you countless times that dysfunctional families are one of the major setbacks that you can encounter on the surface of the earth. It is always a dream that one will get children who will take after them or even be better than them. Unfortunately, there is always a discrepancy most of the time. I said a discrepancy is the difference between what you expect and what actually happens. Our guest on today's show is Mr. Goldon. Na Goldon Gedhuku ni Mkikuyu. Mr. Goldon is 41 years old and he's coming from a very, very, very wealthy family. However, he has not been able to get a match, and that is why the mother has taken upon herself to liberate the only son, to liberate the only child. They got one child and the father is deceased. So why is a 41-year-old man single? Why is the mother trying to vote for him? And why is he still single at the age of 41? These are some of the questions that we ask and answer at the same time so that the viewers will be able to determine whether they will be interested or not. Now, Mr. Goldon Gedhuku is an addict, and I told you that on the show we do not discriminate. There is a difference between judging and loving. You cannot judge people and love them at the same time. You can only do one thing, and that is to love them. I hold the belief that everyone deserves an opportunity if they are of sound mind, if they are able to hold a family, their financial levels notwithstanding. We are having people who are even sick, people who have gone through challenges, tribulations, afflictions, name them, but they still deserve to get a match because another man's food is another man's poison, and what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. In other words, if you want to bring just people who are having a competitive advantage, what about the other people? And we claim that we are fair and just. So that is why we give everyone an opportunity. And this is an adult show. I mean, they are not children here. We don't bring college kids. We bring people who are at the verge of making very serious decisions in their lives. That is why, despite the many attempts by college students to attract me and to invite me to their shows and to invite me to their schools, I cannot go there because I still believe there is a part of them that has not been able to make a comprehensive decision on whether to settle or not. Somebody who is trying to settle without a career, somebody who is trying to settle without a job is just joking because these are very serious economic times. We are living in very hard times. And it's always a joy when somebody is mature enough to provide, to protect, and to procure anything that is needed on behalf of family, whether it's material or emotional. You get the point? So Mr. Goldon Gedhuku is a 41-year-old man who has an addiction with gambling. You see, I always believed that gambling is something you can wake up and walk out of. But what I have learned through encounters and experience, especially when dealing with people who have gone through it, is that it's an addiction like any other. It's an addiction just like that of drugs. There is that mentality you feed your head that you want to get rich quick. It's a pyramid scheme, and the mentality is very difficult to uproot. Those people, no matter how wealthy they are, no matter how stoic they are, if I may use the word, it reaches a point where they lose control and they can sell anything for the gamble. Hiyo ndio mnaita betting. Pia ikahappen ya kwamba yeye ni mlevi, na ni mlevi, alikuwa mlevi wa kupindukia. Sasa wameweza kumanage nini ya pombe, kwa sababu you see most of the people who drink illicit brews, many of the people who drink these local cheap brews, the liquor is cheap and dangerous. But if they are able to afford expensive, high quality alcohol, the danger is lower as compared to what local liquor can do. You have seen people dying in their numbers when they consume dangerous liquor, the illicit brews. And the parent was able to control, na it is the only best way she knew how to, because yeye anamprovidea ile pombe ya pesa mingi. Mtoto ako na addiction, alafu anaenda kukunywa kwa vibanda, anaenda kuanguka chini, na huko mnaitiwa, mnakujia, and at the end of the day you become very embarrassed. So the mother was looking for a way, and the only way, because she was wealthy and she could be able to afford wine, wine and those brands. And I don't know brands of alcohol. I don't take alcohol. I've never tasted alcohol. I don't know how alcohol tastes. So I don't know those brands, but I know a few of them. I know a few of them, and the mother used to control that. The mother used to look at, you know, what can be good for the son. Akafikiria anatengeneza, kumbe ni kuharibu. So kijana akitaka pesa ya pombe, ananunuliwa pombe instead, lakini ameshindwa kudeal na mambo ya gambling, he betting. So this young man, I am using the word young man because in the context of the mother, because I am speaking in the mother's voice. This is a second person. The mother was supposed to be on the show, and she's a business mogul in Nairobi. Lakini niliwaambia hii show, our work is not to embarrass people. We only bring people to the show who have the courage and the charisma, who are able, who have the audacity to speak about their life and what is going through their lives and the kind of person they want. So Mama Goldon amefika mwisho, na anataka hii video ifikie msichana yeyote ambaye anaweza kuwa pale wa rehabilitate mtoto wake. And mind you, this one will be, it's like you are married and you are on payslip, because the mother has tried all she could, lakini hawezi. You cannot be able to control a 41-year-old man. This is an adult and hataki kupata watoto. Unfortunately, this is the only child, not only the only son, the only child. And the mother fears that now she's quickly approaching 70, and now the son is here, no grandkids so far. And you know, the essence of building wealth, the essence of, these are real estate moguls. These are people who build houses. I saw it happening. I had some interest in Ruiru, and I could see people building. I even have friends in real estate. What they do is that they procure a piece of land, they get a house design, then they build a home, fully built, like everything from the perimeter wall to the gate to installation of power. Kila kitu inawekwa kwa hiyo boma. Kuna stima, kuna maji, nyumba inatengenezwa vizuri, roofing inapakwa rangi, alafu wanauza. So if the house cost like 5 million, they will sell like maybe 8, 10 depending on the market. So hawa wanafanyanga hiyo kazi. So the dream of the mother and the father passed on. So the dream of the mother was that the family would have what we call transgenerational transfer of wealth, transgenerational transfer of influence, from one child to the other, from father to son, from father to daughter. Unfortunately, wakapata mtoto mmoja. Wakifikiria kijana atakuwa mzuri, akaanza kuonyeshana signs. At 25 mtu hataki kazi, anataka kukunywa pombe nini. And unfortunately the father passed on, and you see now they are past the age of getting another child. So the biggest worry is that this son will waste everything they have worked so hard for. You can imagine this. So this is one of the shows that I'm doing, which will be an equivalent of an interview. I mean, for every woman who will be sending an application, it will be like you are getting a job at the same time. This is a god of a fortune, a god of transgenerational transfer of wealth. So if there is that woman who is anywhere between the ages of 25, 35 or even 40, lakini anaweza pata mtoto, the better. And there will be due process, because I am going to the mother's contact will be posted on our Facebook page, because yeye ndiye ana control, yeye ndiye, for lack of a better word natumia control, because yeye ndiye atachagua daughter in law. Son yake anaulizwa utaoa lini, ni mapema, wanaume hawazeekangi nini nini. You see, all those stories are very boring to the mother. This is the kind of song she doesn't want to hear. Age is catching up with her. She's looking forward to retire. Imagine unaenda 70, lakini hata kijana yako uwezi hata trust auze kitu. There was a time they gave him a truck. Unaona hizi pickup, amepewa truck, ameibeti ikaisha, very expensive. Mnamnunulia viatu very expensive, Goldon, Adidas, Reebok, mnambaia yeye, anaenda anauza, anarudi na sandals, anaenda anazicheza, gambling, pool, you know. And you know, some of these jobs, I pity people who put up jobs that jeopardize families. Even when you're putting up a job that deals with drugs, a job that deals with gambling, and other people's children don't have control. Maybe your children are safe, but somebody's child will be suffering for the rest of their lives because you put up a business that cost them. You know, now Goldon wanatafuta kitu, ya kujaribu kuifanya incentive. Incentive ni kitu kama motivation. So to motivate this lady, whether you have 10 kids, 5 kids, 7 kids, the due process will be that huyu madam akuwe ako tayari kubadilisha jina za watoto, jina yake, because I think you know that these well-to-do families are jealous with influence, jealous with background and things like that. This woman must be willing kupata mtoto ama watoto, because huyu lazima apate grandkids. Anasema ni lazima, hataki kuzeeka tena, now that she can have some control. Na yeye anasema hata kama unajua, when you engage drugs for the longest time, probably somebody, even some of the young men you see drinking and they are lost in drugs, some of them are sexually dysfunctional, but that doesn't mean they cannot sire. These are medical processes. So even if the son is incapable, there will be a medical process to ensure that he sires children for the sake of the family, continuation of the family. Anasema ile regret ako nayo kubwa sana ni kupata mtoto mmoja. I don't know whether there is somebody who could be interested. The essence of the show is to bring people to air their views, and then mama yake anaitwa Lispa, sio Rispa, kuna ya R na kuna ya L, yake ni ya L. So email yake nitaiweka pale. Mtu ambaye atakuwa interested, mtakutana na wao. Wanaishi hapa Nairobi. Na watu ambao wanajua hizi nyumba za kuuza, watu wa Doni pengine wanamjua sana. That's why she's not putting up her number. If there will be somebody interested, 40 years and below, willing to get kids, and it's an added advantage if the person will be having kids. And a disclaimer, Goldon is not violent. Yeye addiction yake ni hiyo pombe, hatumii dawa zingine, amepimwa na gambling. So they are trying to rehabilitate him, because gambling, unakuta mtu anataka kubet kila kitu, anakuanga na hiyo mentality, nitashinda hii. It's a very bad mentality, it's a very bad addiction, and those who have gone through the addiction know that it is a very dangerous route to pass by. So I am hoping that Lispa and Goldon will be happy. I am hoping that they will be able to get a good match, and if that woman is interested, I will be able to connect them. And that is what this show is all about, connecting families. And we take pride when people get matched on our show. Until next time, take a second or two, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and leave a comment. What do you think about Lispa? What do you think? Is she doing the right thing by helping the son to get a match? Do you think it is rightful for a mother to choose for the son? In the same way, do you think that Goldon can be able, Githuku can be able to get a good match? Do you think he can be able to overcome gambling? Do you think he can be able to overcome betting? Let us know in the comment section. Until next time, bye bye. This is Jeng and Jen.